Good afternoon, everyone. Today is January 17th, and I just want to thank you all for coming out. Thank you very much. This is Small Talk with Bem. Today we're going to have a special guest, and we're just thankful. So thank everyone. Thank you all for coming out today, and we want to get started today. We're going to be talking again. I'm going to give you guys the schedule for the next upcoming weeks before I introduce our guest. January 24th, we're going to be talking about encounter purpose. And January 31st, we're going to be talking about allowing God. So once again, I just want to welcome you all out, the audience. Today's special guest is my wife, my lovely wife, who I love very much. She's going to be actually joining me on today's subject of connected people, connect people, and connection comes before correction. You heard it, guys. Connected people, connect people, and connection comes before correction. Before we get started, though, I just once again want to thank you all out for supporting the podcast, Small Talk with Bem. We're just now getting started in the 2020 year, and we have big plans for this year to get some subjects out and just to be able to. Did you hear y'all? Let Nicole say hello to the crowd.
How are y'all doing?
Yes. Thank you all. Hey, is she lovely, y'all?
I look forward to talking to you guys more. And throughout the year, we have a lot of things to be able to talk to you guys about. I think you guys will be very interested in the conversations that we have.
So, folks, hey, let's go ahead and get started real quick. Again, today's subject is going to be connected people, connect people, and connection comes before correction. So we're just going to jump into things. What I want to talk to you a little bit about is, we all know people that we want to connect with, and we all can connect people with people that want to be connected with other people. And so connection is a big part of our lives, whether it be in a family life, it be in relationship building, whether it be in business. And one of the things is big is that, has anyone ever had it? Nicole, let's just speak. Let's go back and forth. Have you ever had anybody try to correct you on something and they don't know you? How'd you feel?
Well, it makes you feel like you question, why would you correct me and you don't even know who I am and what I'm really talking about? So you're not real receptive to it. Absolutely.
And so you believe you feel connection is important, or?
I think connection is very important.
Why?
Because if you know someone, then you're going to speak to them in the way that they're going to receive it well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the things we talked about, and it was 3 points I'm going to bring out in today's matter, is one is either give hugs or high fives, and that's it's a simple, effective way. One scientist or whoever you want to call it, researcher has formed it as a physical affection. It releases oxytocin, which is a feel-good neurochemical into the brain, which helps the person calm down and be more receptive. So we know that even giving hugs or the touching, that physical portion, it actually helps you feel good. Now, what would you, Nicole, have you ever had a point in your life where somebody's giving you a hug or a high five or something that is physical that you felt good?
Yeah, and a perfect example is, let's say that you accomplished something and someone was giving you a compliment on that and telling you how they appreciated or they liked what you did. And so they came in and they either gave you a high five or they gave you a hug. It actually opens up things to where you feel comfortable with that person now. Even if you didn't know them that well before, now you feel there's some kind of slight bond or comfort zone with them.
Absolutely. Now listen, folks, look, now real quickly, we're going to kind of switch a little bit. Now, I want to give you guys a step which doesn't work, which, for instance, this is an example, dealing with a child or dealing with a person. The correction says it comes first instead of the connection, and we see how you react. I've asked you to do this 5 times, Nicole, and you haven't done it. Do it now. What's your reaction to that?
I'd say, well, I haven't got a chance to do it, but really my brain is telling me, and I'm not going to.
Absolutely
the
not.
way you said it.
Absolutely not. Now listen. Now watch this. What if I said, "Hey, babe, give you a hug. Come here, give me a hug. Hey, I see that you didn't get a chance to do this yet. Mm-hmm. Is there any way that you could do this right now? I need your help really bad. Could you do this for me right now?"
Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and get that done.
Right. That's the connection before correction. That's what we're talking about, folks. We're talking about connecting before correcting. So the second, you want to add anything on there?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
Perfect example.
So the second thing I want to talk about is acknowledging feelings and empathize. So A lot of times we get upset at the person or we get frustrated with people. We just don't acknowledge how they feel. We don't empathize. I'm not saying sympathize with them. I'm not saying having sympathy. I'm just saying empathize with them. Try to put yourself in their shoes. A lot of times we're here to talk about, well, you never walked in my shoes. And you haven't. And the person hasn't walked in your shoes either.
Right.
So it's almost where because they haven't walked in our shoes either, we haven't walked in their shoes, we're both in conflict. Mm-hmm. And so there's no connection. Again, that conflict pushes each other away. You know, we've had many times, you and I have had discussions or arguments, whatever, mm-hmm. where we felt that you don't know my side of the story, I don't know your side of the story. I mean, have you felt that way before?
Oh, yeah, because you feel like they don't understand you.
You see, she hasn't understood. She hasn't understood me in a long time, folks. That's what you guys know.
But it's really, about listening to the other person. Listen to them first, mm-hmm. and then you can come back with a reasonable solution. And people want to hear a solution to their issue or their problem that they're having. Or if you're doing some kind of correction, they still want some kind of solution to what you're asking them to correct.
Absolutely. So one of the things as we talk about, I just want to point out, says acknowledging feelings can help individuals learn that feelings are always okay. See, we want to know that your feelings are always okay. It's always okay to express your feelings. But how we act on those feelings is not always okay. So it's okay to feel this way, but you can't necessarily do this. Like, for instance, if I get in an accident, I can't get out and beat the person up.
No.
I go to jail.
Right.
Or I can get killed.
Yep.
One of the funny things I was pointing this out back in the day, this is like 2000, where on Highway 50, this is in Sacramento. Now, we're doing this podcast, folks, out of Sacramento, California today. On Highway 50, there was the old man that had shot a younger man in front of his family because the younger man got out and thought the old man had cut him off on the freeway. And the old man didn't know what the younger man was doing, and he had just come from the gun range. And here it is, a young man got out beating on this old man's window and got killed. Mm-hmm. And so that gives you an idea of how you can't just, is how you react on your feelings.
You just can't act on your emotions.
Now, empathy also helps people feel understood. When I empathize with you, you feel understood, which again helps them feel more calm and receptive. So, for instance, if you're feeling bad and I say, you know what, Nicole, I know exactly how you feel. I know how you feel. And I wish I could help you feel better. Is that that sound pretty good? Sound okay?
Yes.
Now, what if I said, I don't give a how you feel and go about my business?
That causes me to kind of shut down and not want to hear from you again. Absolutely. So we know that empathizing with a person actually helps them feel more calm and receptive, folks. And so, again, we're talking about connected people. Connect people, and connection comes before correction. If you just come with us, this is the Small Talk with Bem show. This is January 17th. We're going to have some new things coming up pretty soon. But, again, we're talking about connected people, connect people, and connection comes before correction. It's almost a tongue twister, folks. So now the last topic we've been talking about, the last thing is saying I love you. If it's an intimate connection, or it's, somehow expressing your feelings for the person, where, you know what, I really appreciate you in such a way that you've changed my life or changed something significant way. Have you ever had that happen to you, Nicole, where it's not a person that's necessarily intimate? Sometimes we use the word I love you, generalize it to a lot of people that say I love you, and it's general, but in a way where it could be more professionally. Well, what would you say professionally to a person that has really impacted your life and you want them to feel that they've done so? I would let them know to me, I would say I really appreciate you and respect you for what you've done for me or my family, or for the community. But you want to use some descriptive words that have a feeling behind them, not just simple description. You want it to have some kind of a feeling or emotional tie to it. And people seem to, like you say I love you a lot. To our kin folks, we happen to say, we love them, because we do love them. And, it's kind of, it goes both ways. A lot of people say, oh, that word is used so loosely, love. But to me, God says we can love whoever we want, and love is a free word. It's a free feeling. So to me, you can never use the word love too much. That's
That's absolutely a good point. Which maybe it'd be, hey folks, that might be a topic to talk about, because you're right. God He loved everyone, and who says you can't love everyone? And actually, we put limits on love based on what we go through in life, or based on what we learn, which actually puts us in a box.
Yes.
And so that's a good point Nicole brings up, folks. That something, maybe a topic to think about. Hey, folks, hey, listen. If that's something you want to hear about in the future, maybe next month, please inbox me, send out an email, or go to the website and put your comments there. We'd definitely like to do some research on that, because that might be a good topic. And just kind of wrapping it up. So an example is say I'm talking to my child, and my child wants ice cream. I just say, no, you can't have any ice cream. That's one way to talk to the child. Or another way to say, you know what? Hey, Tristan, I love you, but you can't have any ice cream right now. You haven't eaten your food, or whatever reason, you just can't have any ice cream. Which way, Nicole, just to kind of wrap things up, which way you think was more efficient and more effective?
I think it's more effective to tell them that, hey, I'm not saying you can't have it at all. Basically, your second way you did it is out of, I know you want the ice cream, but you just can't have it right now, for whatever the reason is. And people need to hear, a lot of times, a little bit of an explanation when they are hearing the word no. If you just say no and you leave it at that makes people feel very, like you just shut the door in their face.
Absolutely.
So with you putting a little explanation, it softens the blow, and it causes them to think, oh, okay, well, maybe there still is a chance.
Absolutely. Hey, folks, listen. Hey, did Nicole do a great job, y'all? Give it up for Nicole. Nicole, we want to thank you for this, being part of this podcast. Obviously, the crowd thinks you did a great job. And again, folks, this is Small Talk with Bem. Just to give you these dates, these last couple of dates is coming up. The next date is January 24th. We're going to be talking about encountering purpose. That's going to be a fun-filled podcast talking about how to encounter purpose, meaning to reach out, to face purpose, to grab it, to put it in front of you, and you know how you put something in front of you, you grab it, to reach out and grab it. Like just be a part of it. See what your purpose is in life. I think that will help people with their future, and just kind of give an idea of the design of that life has been designed by God for you. And then January 31st is going to be the subject topic is going to be talking about allowing God, which is going to be in that we're going to be talking about how you allow God to work in your life. Like we all have choice, but a lot of us don't allow God to do the things that we ask Him to do. So for instance, you know how sometimes you ask a person to do something. Because if you ever ask anybody to do something and they get ready to do it, you be like, no, hold on, I want you to do this, do that. But you're not allowing the person to do what they're good at doing. For instance, you hire a painter to paint your house, and you told them what you need done. They're a professional painter. They've been painting 25 years. But you go out there and you're watching their back, you're watching behind, and you say, hey, no, can you get that spot? But that spot wasn't supposed to be done yet. They're a painter. They're going to get the spot. Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Absolutely, folks. And so that's not allowing the individual to do what they do best. So think about it. Allowing
to create their full potential.
Absolutely. So now, would you ask the creator? Why wouldn't you allow the creator that created you to move you in the ways that he needs to move you in order to fulfill what he needs to fulfill through you, so that you can gain everything that you wanted to? That makes sense? Yeah. So we're going to talk about allowing God, folks. Listen, today, again, hey, we're signing out. We've had a great time. And just want to say, this is Small Talk with Bem. Thank you, Nicole, again.
All right.
Y'all, thank everybody out. 2020 is going to be the year of what? Absolutely, folks. Hey, this is your host signing out.